Hey, what's up, guys? It's Tasha LaRae, and you are now tuned in to another edition of Around the World with Tasha LaRae. Today, we are performing in Chicago, Illinois. We are getting ready to perform for the House of Blues, and right now we're here at the venue for sound check. So it's pretty quiet right now. The crew is still getting things set up. We'll do a sound check pretty soon. And but with today's episode, this is the second one of this show. I'm so excited about this. And like I said before, if this is your first time catching this show, my name is Tasha LaRae. I'm a singer, songwriter, jewelry designer, member of two-time Grammy award-winning group Arrested Development, founder of the Racism Sucks movement, and I'm a voice coach. With any and everything that I do, I want to help encourage other people to discover what their purpose is, pursue it with passion, and enjoy their life while they're doing it. I love traveling, love music, being creative, all of that jazz, and I want to be able to share those experiences with other people, because there's some people who feel like that's not something that they'll be able to do, but they want to. And so I just figured if I show it a little bit more, and you see a lot more examples of people doing stuff that you want to do, you might have the courage to just go ahead and go for it for yourself. So that's the goal with this. With this show, for the first episode, I asked questions to anybody. I was like, if there's anything you want to know, please type it in the message box, let me know. And I'm saying that with this video too. If you have a question throughout any part of this show, feel free to drop a question in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. But with our last video, we had a great question come in, and I'm going to paraphrase this, but basically the question was asking, how difficult or easy is it to have a healthy lifestyle while you're on the road? So how easy is it to eat a healthy meal or get in a workout, get sleep, all of those things together? So I am excited to answer this question, but I also thought it would be really cool to get some other opinions from some of my other bandmates, for them to chime in and to share what their experience with this is as well. So my goal is to keep this show at 20 minutes. It may go a little bit over, just depending, but I think this is a really important topic, and hopefully it's something that's said or shown that resonates with you, and it can be helpful for you too. Cool beans? So without further ado, I'm gonna go get ready for sound check. I keep trying not to look at myself, but it's kind of hard not to. I know if you ever videoed yourself and it's on landscape, you understand this struggle right now. But I'm gonna stick right here. I think everything's fine. I keep looking over. Don't judge me. So, like I said, I'm not really editing this video all that professionally. Gonna do my best, but for the most part, the segments are gonna be like this, so there's no cut in betweens and all that stuff. So, with that said, I'm gonna go get ready to do sound check, and I will be back with more. And we're back. So we had a fun time last night performing at the House of Blues, and we got a chance to get a good full night's rest. And so now we're waiting to head to Louisville, Kentucky. We've got a few more hours before we have to check out. So I thought it would be a good time to go ahead and tackle this question. So the question was posed as far as like what's it like being on the road when you're trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and what does that look like? And it really depends on what the touring schedule is. So some of the tours that we do, sometimes we have a few days off in between shows. There's sometimes we don't have to travel, so we literally get to stay stationary. Anytime we have those situations, it's easier to eat healthy. It's easier to get in a workout if you need one, because you've had enough time to let your body rest that you feel energized enough to even work out. Now, this is my personal experience, and like I said, I will ask a few of my bandmates to chime in with this and share what their experience is as well. So, like just traveling by itself without even knowing it, it takes a lot of energy out of you, whether you're flying or you're driving. And you don't even have to be the person behind the driver's seat in order to still feel exhausted. So once you finally get to a hotel or wherever you're just going to be able to chill, the first thing you want to do is sleep. Well, I say you, but I'm saying me. The first thing I want to do is go to sleep. And once I feel fully rested, then I feel I'm in a better position to make better decisions when it comes to food that I eat and even being able to work out. I try to get a workout in, and working out is something that I enjoy doing workouts. Like, I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's hard to get me to get up to do them, but once I do them, I'm in it and I'm having a ton of fun. I enjoy eating healthy. I like eating fruits and vegetables and lean meats and all that. Like, I love it. I love cooking them. I love eating them. I like food. The problem is if I do a consistent workout, I don't want to eat healthy and I have no idea why. And vice versa. If I'm eating healthy, I really don't feel like working out. So for myself, I'm trying to figure out what that is and to get over that. In the meantime, I literally just take stuff one day at a time and try to make the best choices I possibly can. And I acknowledge my excuses when I make them, and I call myself out on my own BS. I do my best for that. This is being healthy, and living healthy is something that I really want for myself. And so I am committed to making those changes and figuring this out, however long it takes. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I'm not going to put the time pressure on myself. But what I am doing is holding myself accountable for making better decisions. So, but going back into it. So when we do our show is about an hour and 15 to an hour, 30 minutes of cardio. It literally is a lot of jumping, moving around, dancing, walking, and singing all at the same time. You're interacting with the crowd, you're interacting with the band on stage, and everybody's having a good time. So with singing, like, you have to have great breath control and to be able to still be flexible and move around, but still got to sound good at the same time. That is tough to do in and of itself. Definitely doable, and it's imperative that you do it. Like, that is a super important element to have. It's a super important skill to have when you're performing, because it shows. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen some shows, heck, you might have even seen me sometimes, where you see people, they're winded on stage after a while. And it's a real thing. It's a real thing. So the cardio aspect is super important. And like I said, when you're traveling and you're on the road, if you have enough days off, and when I say enough days off, at least 2 days in between shows, then you have a greater chance of at least getting one workout in. And this is my personal experience. Somebody else might experience something different, because I need one of those days just to sleep and to feel like my body has recovered from all of the other stuff that we've done. If we go 3 days of shows in a row, and on top of that, you do the shows, you have your sound checks, if you're doing interviews that day, if you have autograph signings where you're doing that, interacting with fans, television shows, like we do the morning shows a lot. Most of the cities we go to, we play the morning shows, and it's super early in the morning. And then you're moving and traveling those same days. If you're doing all of that, it takes so much out of you, and you've got to get sleep. So there's a lot happening, even though you're still having a ton of fun. Singing, this is something I've enjoyed and I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And so now that I get to do this, I'm literally living my dream, but it still can be exhausting living your dream. So you still have to be realistic about your energy and about your time and what you're able to do. But, being on the road, you have to take care of yourself, getting a proper amount of sleep. You want to try to get the best nutrition you possibly can. Sometimes, you have access to fresh fruits and vegetables, which is awesome. And sometimes you can get a good home cooked meal. Sometimes you can't. And when you can't, you try to make the best of it. But I think the best thing is when you have your home regimen and you're working out and you're eating healthy and all that stuff, you keep that home regimen going. And when you have to go out on the road, it's going to break that regimen, but you do the best you can so that you don't sabotage the results that you've gotten from already, what you do at home. And then when you get back home, you pick up where you left off. And I don't think that's always an easy thing to do as well, but it's a conscious decision that you have to make. And so, like I said, this is something that I've battled since I was young. And it's still something I definitely have to overcome. I have to because I want to. I want to for myself. I want to for my family and for my fans of my music. And I want to be a better me. And being better means, for me, having the stamina and the energy and the skill to jump on stage and sing the way I want to sing, perform the way I want to perform, have that energy and be in great health. And that's what that means for me. And I'm tall. I'm very tall. Well, not super tall, but I'm 5'11", which is tall enough. And I am almost 300 pounds. And if I tell somebody that, a lot of the times they don't believe me. But I've been blessed with being able to hide some of it. So it kind of gets evenly distributed throughout my body. Some of it definitely is stuck in the midsection, but everywhere else it's kind of evened itself out so it doesn't look like it, but the scale tells on me every time. So with that, I've been able to hide it for so long. I didn't have to work as hard because I was like, well, I like being a thick girl. I'm cool with it. But once it started to mess with my performance and how I felt on stage, literally even in the middle of a show, once it started messing with that, that's when it became a problem for me. And so that's something now that I'm actively working to correct. So for myself, I want to get down to a size that allows me to be myself 100% in all aspects of my life without my health being an issue. So whatever size I get to be, and that's what I get, then that's where I'm going to be. I'm not trying to necessarily get down to a size 10 or a size 2 or whatever. I want to be healthy, I want to be strong, I want to be physically fit, and I want to enjoy my life. That's what I want. And so even while I go through this process, I'm going to enjoy every little piece of this process, even the parts that don't feel so good. So that's my experience, and I will come back with a few other people. I'll see if I can get Speech and Yolanda, his wife. I think out of everybody in our group, she's probably the most disciplined in her eating and fitness and all that stuff. So I can't wait to ask her a few questions, as well as Farida, who is ridiculously physically fit, but I can't wait to share her story with you guys. And One Love. We'll get One Love on here too. So those are all members of Arrested Development. And thank you guys again for tuning in. Hold tight. We'll be right back. Speech. So this question is for both of you guys. Now we're in the car, guys, so I get to show my friends, my bandmates. So we're talking about trying to be healthy on the road, keeping a healthy lifestyle on the road. What does that look like for y'all?
You want to go first?
Either one. Oh Lord.
So it looks interesting. I'll put it like that. We definitely try. It's difficult. I think one of the bigger things that we've done when we've gone on the road is we've switched up our rider. So a rider is what we ask of the venue to give us snack-wise and to eat, kind of munch on in between, like sound checks and stuff like that. And we actually have a lot of healthy things on there, like veggies and, fruit trays and things like that. So that's definitely effort to eat healthy on the road. Beyond that, when you're riding and driving and you're in between cities, it's kind of difficult because you're kind of at the mercy of what's available. So it makes your options really limited. And when you're performing, I know for me as a dancer, I can't eat a whole heavy meal prior to I'm dancing, so I tend to eat my whole meal after I finish dancing, which is usually like late at night, which is not a great thing. So that being said, it's very challenging, but we try.
Like, okay, so do you want the truth, or do you want?
I want the truth.
Or do you want
the real?
What's best, like in theory?
The truth.
Okay, the truth is it's tough because I eat the worst on the road because there's like Farida said, there's very little choices, and I've heard other peers of mine say, "Shut up! Who are they talking to you?"
Siri is trying to understand what you're saying. Y'all ain't making sense.
So I've heard peers talk about, they map out where all the vegetarian spots are and all of this, and that's cool if it works for them. That doesn't work for us. Our routing is like very specific to the gigs that we're going to, and our timing is very specific. Like if we get off a stage at 1 a.m. and we got to be at the next venue by,
Early
1 in the afternoon, and it takes 10 hours to get there, then we got to leave immediately, and there's no time to stop off at the right vegetarian spot in the right city and all of this stuff. So I've heard people say that, but I've never seen that to be practical or realistic. I'm not saying it's not doable for them. So I guess my point is that it's very tough. I eat my worst on the road. I do way better when I'm at home.
Gotcha.
Now I know the things to do, but in practicality, like in reality, it's very tough.
What are the things to do?
The things to do is a few things. You should have the great foods on your rider. Make sure, like,
Which we have that.
If you're on a tour bus, which we're not right now, we're in a van or a SUV or a Sprinter. If you're on a tour bus, you can bring those best foods on the tour bus with you.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. So you just basically, you get more foods than what you need just for backstage, and you bring all of that on the road with you. And that is easier. So if you're on a tour bus, it is a lot easier because you have a refrigerator on the bus, and you can keep things fresh. You can get vegetables, you can get fruits, you can get whole foods of different types, and have it all on the tour bus as a stationary thing. But if you're in a car or a van like this, there's no refrigerator and you can't do that. So really, I guess at the end of the day, it really depends on what level of tour you're on. The level we're on right now is an SUV. It's, we have 5 members, so it doesn't take a bus to pull it off, and we don't need a van either, so we're doing an SUV. So the practicals are different. So I really think it's tough, and I think what you should do as far as health-wise is really plan for if it is a low-level tour like ours is right now, plan for a healthy lifestyle at home so that you can mess up for the 6 or 5 days or whatever you are for this stretch and then get back and do well. I think that's very realistic.
Yeah. I think that's how my life's been set up. Yolanda?
Yes, ma'am.
I know you're driving.
Yes.
Are you able to comment on being healthy and like keeping a healthy lifestyle while you're on the road? If you can't, we could do this later.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, I think what's been said is it. I don't know what else to add, but I think that lots of water is great on the road because it's very easy to get dehydrated, and you really have to with the eating, I know that's hard, and you may have to eat however whatever the venue feeds you and things like that, but I think it's very important to get lots of water, to get lots of rest, and to
be as kind to your body as you can.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, there's more I could say.
Okay. That's good.
Is that like what everybody's saying is right? Like, look, when I say that you're gonna probably do your worst, it's not really true. Like, I don't do my worst. Like, there's some foods I don't really eat at all. So I don't even do sodas. I don't do fried pretty much anything, and I don't do a lot of ice creams. I don't do a lot of white rice or white potatoes or all of these, like, there's a lot of things you should just stay away from. Period. White bread. So, you know, we don't do a lot of just unhealthy food, period. You know what I mean? Like, even at home or on the road. So when I say that you're probably not doing your best on the road, it has nothing to do with, like, just sodas and, you know, candy and all of that stuff. Like, I don't really do none of that, period, in my whole life. So I wanted to add that. So there is a way you could at least do that much.
Yeah. Keep it going. Let it rain, let God's water feed me, the water of life. Mentally rinsing me, physically drenching me, most of frowning, the corner of rival, but I need you for survival. When you call my community, I run outside to properly greet you. Let it rain, take my pain, I'm glad to meet you. Fill my eyes with a colorful rainbow. Every drop that hits me fills me with unmeasurable amount of security. Knowing my God acknowledges me as if each drop of rain is aimed toward me. My Lord, thanks for life. My Lord, thanks for life. Yeah. It's raining revolution. It's raining solution. Keep it going. Oh.